The hunt for oil and gas can take you all over the world, into remote places like the Niger Delta or the deserts of Kuwait. It can take you deep into the ocean, where wells are drilled in over 5,000 feet of water and can cost millions and millions of dollars. Or it can take you down the back roads of Texas into small towns where the neighbors are farmers and ranchers and the spectators are cows in the field. Today, World Energy takes us into rural Texas, where we visit Lee County, passing through small towns and traveling roughly 2 hours northwest of Houston. We enter the town of Giddings, one of the original homes of the oil and gas business in Texas. Here, the oil was first discovered in the early 1940s. The town is quaint. The Grand Town Hall resides at the center of the town and happens to be the seat for the Lee County Clerk as well. It's just north of here that Australian-listed Buccaneer Energy is partnered with local Sandstone Energy and Megashine International and is drilling wells among the cows in Lee County off Highway 77 deep in the heart of Texas. As we run up the highway, the scenery quickly changes from small town to mesquite trees and open fields, dotted with grazing cows. Nearing the drill site, we can see over the tops of the trees the Nicholas rig that is in place over the Vic No. 2 well site, exemplifying just how flat this part of Texas really is. We proceed down the dirt road built by Buccaneer Energy, past the neighbors, avoid the cows, and arrive at the drill site. Currently, Vic No. 2 has been completed and is producing roughly 500 barrels of oil a day. The Lee County project actually began back in 1947 when the original well was drilled on the property. And today, Buccaneer is running a 10 to 30 well program, which started earlier this year with the first well being drilled in the wintry months of December and January, and the last part of that well, a horizontal leg, finished in late March. Oil was discovered in Lee County in what is called the Austin Chalk long ago. Buccaneer is taking advantage of past exploration to find, or in this case, re-find, resources beginning with historical records and previous 2D seismic. Then Buccaneer uses new advanced reprocessing tools and drilling techniques to more accurately locate and then produce the oil and natural gas locked beneath the earth. Throughout the drilling process, cuttings are tested, and the results are monitored with advanced systems located at the drilling site. To drill the first well in the program required building roads, 3 rigs, and countless hours from the participants. The weather is always a factor, and delays from contractors are hard to avoid. But Buccaneer is currently completing its second well this year in Lee County called Vic No. 2. Which began operations by spudding on April 24, 2010, and recently reached its target depth of 6,000 feet. Drilling operations require teams of roughnecks working in concert with scientists to ensure the success of the operation. Moving quickly, the drill bit enters the ground and drills to more than 5,000 feet. Out in the country, you need to bring everything that's needed to the site. The rig has its own power, water, the drilling fluids, bits, and monitoring equipment are all moved to the site, and a satellite hookup is used for communications. Of course, cell phones work as well, just don't be texting while on the rig. Since being a good neighbor is important, the operations include line pools to collect all of the drilling fluids. When the job is done, the area will be returned into a grass clearing in the woods. Cleverly, Buccaneer had contracted the second drilling company to keep the second rig on site since it finished drilling Vic No. 1 and was ready to move the rig down the road to the Vic 2 site and commence drilling the second part of the well. This meant that removing the Nicholas rig and getting the second rig in place was done within 4 days instead of weeks. As the rig moves from the Vic 1 site, the pumping equipment will be moved into place, and this first well in the program will begin producing oil to help feed an energy-hungry nation. Meanwhile, Vic No. 2 was drilled to the target depth of roughly 6,000 feet and tested the Austin Chalk and Eagleford formations and found oil. We'll be keeping an eye on the Buccaneer team as they continue with this exciting project.